very warm welcome to the first day of the third edition of the Global Maritime India Summit 2023 and the session on driving innovation and research in maritime sector. I'm your host, Hardik Vaidya. The Indian maritime sector is undergoing a profound transformation through innovation, from port operations and shipping logistics through safety and security. Innovation and technology is reshaping the landscape of this critical sector, driven by factors such as globalization, trade expansion, and economic growth. The Ministry of Port, Shipping, and Waterways took a huge leap forward, initiating numerous reforms and digitization initiatives which were the need of the hour. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a very warm welcome to our Honorable Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Shri Narayan Tatu Raneji. And to the Honorable Minister of State for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, Shri Shripad Nayak ji. Thank you very much, sir. It's a true honor and a pleasure to have you amongst us. I now humbly request Dr. Malini Shankar, Vice Chancellor of Indian Maritime University, to felicitate our Honorable Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Shri Narayan Tatu Raneji. The wonderful memento is here. Once again, Dr. Malini, may I humbly request you to please felicitate our Honorable Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Shri Narayan Tatu Raneji. Thank you, Dr. Malini, and thank you, sir. May I now humbly request Dr. Venkat Raman Akkaraju, Chairman, New Mangalore Port Authority, to felicitate our Honorable Minister of State for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, Shri Shripad Nayak ji. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Akkaraju, and thank you very much, sir, for being with us here this afternoon. And at this juncture, because we've got all our esteemed dignitaries on the dais, I humbly request all of our dignitaries to please rise for a group photograph. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. To proceed with the session modalities, may I now invite session convener, Dr. Malini Shankar, Vice Chancellor of Indian Maritime University, to deliver the welcome address. Welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. Dignitaries on the dais and all the participants. It's my pleasure and privilege and an honor to welcome all the dignitaries who are on stage and the august gathering who are assembled here. India has ambitious plans to be a $5 trillion economy in the near future. The G20 chairmanship, the landing of the Chandrayaan on the southern pole of the moon, the launch of Gaganyaan, the plans for Samudrayaan, they are all manifestations of India wanting to be counted as a forerunner in science, research and development. It is indeed an opportune moment for India to debate, deliberate and promote innovations in science and technology. It is my pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Narayan Tatu Rane, Honorable Minister, Government of India, Ministry of MSME, Medium, Small and Enterprises. my honor to welcome Mr. Shripad Nayak, Minister of State, Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways. A hearty welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for joining us for this session, sirs. I also welcome my co-chairman. I welcome Mr. Shyam Jagannathan, the Director General of Shipping, Dr. Venkatramana Akiraju, the co-chairman of this session and the chairperson of New Mangalore Port Authority. It's my pleasure to welcome all the speakers, Commodore S.L. Deshmukh, who is a representative to India of the Industry Association Marinette, Mr. Christian Valdez Carter, Country Director and Commercial Councillor, Innovation Norway, Mr. Maurice Johnson, Port Ecosystems Expert, Erasmus Center for Urban Port and Transport Economics, Rotterdam. Mr. Carter and Mr. Johnson have come all the way. Thank you so much for joining us, flying so many hours to be here. I would also like to welcome Mr. Luis Garrido, CEO of Mediterráneo Señales Marítimas, Spain. Thank you for joining us all the way from España. Mr. Jeffrey James, Director, Crucible Technologies Private Limited and Advisor, Port of Duqm Company, Oman. Thank you, sir, for flying here to be with us. And Captain D.C. Shekhar, one of our own, who is the founder of Alpha Mares. And finally, Captain Nikunj Parashar, founder and CEO of Sagar Defense Engineering. Once again, on behalf of the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, and on behalf of the organizers and all of us here, my hearty welcome to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Malini, for setting this welcome address. Now it is my privilege and an honor to invite the Honorable Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Shri Narayan Tatu Raneji, for the special address. Welcome, sir.
शिखर सम्मेलन 2023 आयोजित किया गया है। इनका उद्घाटन भारत देश के लोकप्रिय पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने ऑनलाइन मार्गदर्शन हमें उनसे मिला है। श्रीपाद नाइक जी को मैं ये तीसरे रणनीतिक शिखर सम्मेलन के आयोजन के लिए मैं बधाई देता हूँ। ग्लोबल मैरीटाइम पर पहला शिखर सम्मेलन 2016 में आयोजित किया गया था और दूसरा शिखर सम्मेलन 5 साल के अंतराल के बाद 2021 में आयोजित किया गया था। मुझे यह जानकर खुशी हुई है कि मंत्रालय ने 2 वर्ष के अंतराल के भीतर इस शिखर सम्मेलन का आयोजन किया है। हाल ही में भारत की अध्यक्षता में G20 शिखर सम्मेलन का आयोजन किया गया, जिसमें अपनी तरह के पहले भारत मिडल ईस्ट यूरोप आर्थिक गलियारे पर सहमति बनी। इस देखते हुए समुद्र क्षेत्र की भूमिका और भी महत्वपूर्ण हो गई। भारत में 7,500 किलोमीटर से अधिक विशाल तटरेखा है और भारत का लगभग 95% विदेशी व्यापार, जो कुल व्यापार मूल्य का लगभग 3/4 है, समुद्री मार्गों से होता है। G20 शिखर सम्मेलन के दौरान सहमति के अनुसार नई आर्थिक कॉरिडोर की स्थापना को ध्यान में रखते हुए नए अवसर खोजने और रास्ते में आने वाली चुनौतियों का समाधान करने के लिए नवाचार के लाभ का उपयोग करना अनिवार्य है। मुझे उम्मीद है कि यह शिखर सम्मेलन समुद्र क्षेत्र की परिपूर्ण उपयोग के लिए विचारों, नवीन प्रौद्योगिकी के आदान प्रदान के लिए एक मंच प्रदान करेगा। किसी भी देश के लिए एमएसएमई उसकी औद्योगिक क्षमता को बढ़ावा देने महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाता है और इस तरह तकनीकी विकास और रोजगार सृजन में काफ़ी योगदान देता है। मुझे विश्वास है कि भारतीय एमएसएमई भारत की समुद्री क्षेत्र में प्रौद्योगिकी द्वारा संचालित विकास हासिल करने में महत्वपूर्ण साबित होंगे। विचारों को सामना लाए और भारत के समुद्र क्षेत्र के बदलने की दिशा में सहयोग करे ताकि भारत संरक्षित और पर्यावरणीय रूप में टिकाऊ समुद्री सेवाएं प्रदान करने में अग्रणी बन सके, नवाचार के माध्यम से विकास को गति दे सके। एमएसएमई मंत्रालय और से मैं आपको आश्वस्त करता हूं कि हमारे पास एक अत्यधिक सक्षम और अनुकूल कार्यबल है जो हर परिस्थिति में कार्य करके नवीन प्रथाओं को आसानी में अपना सकता है। हमारे एमएसएमई समुद्री कार्यबल के अपस्किलिंग और रिस्किलिंग के माध्यम से नवाचार को बढ़ावा दे सकते हैं। मेरा मंत्रालय समुद्र क्षेत्र का हर संभव सहायता प्रदान करेंगी। थैंक यू वेरी मच। जय हिंद।
माननीय मंत्री जी, एक बार आपका फिर से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए एंड थैंक यू फॉर दीज वर्ड्स ऑफ एनकरेजमेंट। नाउ इट इज़ माई प्रिविलेज एंड एन ऑनर वंस अगेन टू इन्वाइट द ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर पोर्ट्स, शिपिंग एंड वाटरवेज, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, श्री श्रीपद नायक जी, फॉर ए स्पेशल एड्रेस।
नमस्कार। Dignitaries on dais for this Maritime India Summit 2023, Honorable Sri Narayan Taturane ji, Honorable Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Dr. Malini V. Shankar ji, Vice Chancellor, Indian Maritime University, Dr. Venkatraman Akkaraju ji, Chairman, New Mangalore Port, Sri Shama Jagannathan ji, Director General of Shipping, Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, all other dignitaries on the dais, members of the press and electronic media, all the distinguished delegates, brothers and sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and enthusiasm that I extend a warm and hearty welcome to our esteemed participants who have gathered here today for our session on driving innovation and research in the maritime sector. Your presence is not only greatly appreciated, but also essential to the success of this discussion. We are truly honored to have such a diverse and distinguished group of individuals coming together to explore the exciting possibilities in this maritime industry. Our commitment to transforming the maritime sector goes beyond infrastructure and logistics. We are dedicated to creating an ecosystem that nurtures growth, innovation, and sustainability. In order to become a leader in the maritime sector, it is important for India to focus on skill development and encourage research and innovation in this sector. India's maritime sector has been steered by the innovation, digitization, and sustainability since the last decade. Our target policies are collaborative partnerships showcase our commitment to shaping the maritime future of India to the heights envisaged in the short and long term. Collaborative participation by the researchers, academia, and startup community is invited to drive the development in the maritime domain. Institutes such as National Technology Center of Ports, Waterways, and Coast Center for the Inland and Coastal Maritime Technology, National Institute of Oceanography, and Indian maritime universities have been progressing towards this maritime research across the area. Cochin Shipyard Limited has achieved a significant milestone in sustainable shipping. Focused at the innovation and research, it has received a prestigious international order for the world's first zero-emission feeder container vessel. We are also focused at the fostering the collaboration with the international partners to achieve the excellence in different maritime domains. Sagarmala innovation and startup policy is aimed at promoting the sustainable growth by nurturing the startups and facilitating the innovation in the country. It is expected that this will drive the sustainable growth and generate large-scale employment opportunity in the maritime sector. Several key areas for the startup has been identified for the development of this maritime sector. Decarbonization, optimizing the process through the data, maritime education, multimodal transportation, manufacturing, advanced materials, maritime cybersecurity, smart communication, and marine electronic are our thirst areas to explore. Implementing technological advancement in the maritime, India has introduced the biometric seafarer identity document capturing the facial biometric data of seafarers. With focus on empowering the resources with relevant skill set and enhanced proficiency, training courses and rating of Indian seafarers have been revised to meet the international standards suitable to foreign and Indian employees. A system of comprehensive inspection program has been designed to regulate the private sector training institutes. Promotion of the research and innovation through setting up of maritime knowledge cluster and upgradation of the research labs, setting up the research facility are steps taken to promote the growth through innovation. Global Maritime India Summit 2023 as a platform bringing together stakeholders from the various domains and geographies is India's opportunity on inviting collaboration and partnership across the dimensions to join us. We continue our growth journey and realizing the India's vision, aspiration for its maritime sector. With this word, I thank all of you for coming and joining this summit. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Mananiya Mantriji, thank you very much for these encouraging words. Now we've arrived at a pivotal moment here. May I humbly request our Honorable Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Shri Narayan Tatu Raneji, to inaugurate the E-Library of Indian Maritime University. Ladies and gentlemen, the unveiling of the E-Library of Indian Maritime University.
Hi, welcome to the Indian Maritime University e-Library. As soon as you log into the platform, you have full access to all IMU library e-collections and services. You can keep up with all the latest content acquired or curated by the IMU libraries on the dashboard. You can catch the headlines harvested from multiple online news portals and whatever content is being read most on the IMU campuses shows up in the trending section. You can browse the library by categories or subjects here. Click on any of these subjects like ocean engineering to list the
Thank you. So that was the e-library of Indian Maritime University, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, sir, for the unveiling. Now, may I humbly request the Honorable Minister of State for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, Shri Shripad Nayak ji, to inaugurate the Indian Maritime University's revamped website. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the unveiling of the revamped website of the Indian Maritime University. That truly deserves a round of applause. Thank you. And moving forward, we shall now have the declaration of MOUs. So the first up MOU is the IMU has signed an MOU with Erasmus UPT to bring in port academia synergy. May I request Registrar IMU, Shri K. Sarvanan, and Mr. Maurice Johnson, Port Ecosystems Expert, Erasmus Center for Urban, Port and Transport Economics, Rotterdam, to exchange their MOUs. I will request you to stay back, sir. The next MOU has been signed between IMU has signed an MOU with Trincomalee campus of the Eastern University towards diversifying into marine sciences and extending our BIM tech support. Now may I request Registrar IMU, sir, and Professor Chandravatani, Rector, Trincomalee campus, Eastern University, Sri Lanka, to exchange their MOUs. Moving forward, IMU has signed an MOU with International Ocean Institute for bringing enhanced ocean governance and ocean awareness with the Ocean Institute of Malta. May I request Registrar IMU, sir, once again, and Dr. Jai Acharya, Director, International Ocean Institute, Focal Point, IOI, Ocean Academy, Singapore, to exchange the MOUs. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Now may I request Dr. Malini Shankar, Vice Chancellor of IMU, to lay down the context for our session, Driving Innovation and Research in Maritime Sector. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. The session on driving innovation and research in maritime sector. India's maritime sector has long been a driving force behind our nation's economic growth. Over the years, the Indian maritime sector witnessed a remarkable transformation as a result of strong efforts of the government, industry stakeholders, and the maritime community at large. The maritime sector has embarked on a journey of progress, embracing technological advancements, improving infrastructure, enhancing efficiency, and fostering a conducive business environment. The sector is undergoing a profound transformation through innovation. From port operations and shipping logistics to safety and security, innovation in technology is reshaping the landscape of the sector. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has taken a huge leap forward, initiating reforms and digitization initiatives which are indeed the need of the hour. With a view to creating a business-friendly environment, the government has taken steps to facilitate innovative solutions. The Maritime Vision 2030 sets out the ambitions of the Government of India in promoting world-class education, research, and training in the sector. The maritime sector today is driven by latest technologies across the spectrum: ports operations and management, navigation and traffic management, ship design technology, deep ocean maneuvers, maritime finance, and governance. The COVID pandemic 2019 has underlined the critical role of digitalization in the functioning of maritime supply chains across the world. As part of the Blue Economy Action Plan, a total of 17 initiatives have been identified, of which the key ones include improving operational efficiency through eGate 2.0 at all ports, drone-based inventory management, just-in-time systems, automation of mobile harbor cranes, pilotage, mooring, and anchorage, port planning and optimization, including digital twins, advanced analytics-based yard management, automated allotment of berths, etc. The development of autonomous ships and digitalization call for data analytics and predictive analytical skills such as dispersed crew and remote operations, cargo tracking, cargo condition monitoring, logistics and value chain, small port operations, traffic, and fleet management. The application of new technologies en masse include integrated bridge systems, environmental information perception, collision avoidance path planning, cyber physical systems, track control, Internet of Things, cloud computing, big data, automation, remote control, satellite and communication, fault diagnosis, among others. Robotics, AR and VR, additive printing, alternative fuel, modular construction, even onboard waste management are fertile areas of research. Going forward, the government envisions the establishment of maritime clusters that offer a conducive ecosystem for research that will include innovation labs and accelerators. The first steps in this direction have been taken with research centers supported by the Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways in IIT Madras and in the Indian Maritime University. The IMU, which is the premier and sole maritime university in the public sector, has established an innovation lab, and the researchers have initiated projects in diverse areas. Those under implementation include offshore reconnaissance survey of the Sangam Age Korkai port, numerical and experimental investigations on ship turbulent wakes for stealth signature, and development of pollution index in port areas. Projects under consideration include tidal energy resource assessment along the Indian coast, study of underwater radiated noise from port-related activities, development of a mathematical model for the maneuverability predictions of inland vessels, generation of power from tidal steam in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and conditioning monitoring system for marine machinery. So these are the ambitious projects going ahead. Some of these topics will be taken up by the experts who are on the stage. This session, I'm certain, will serve as a catalyst for investment, collaboration, and promotion of opportunities for technological research and innovation. The primary objective of the discussion is to understand as well as implement the best practices that lead to research and development, advance logistical competitiveness, foster industrialization, and create employment opportunities in the maritime sector. I request with that, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Malini. With the context being set, let's march forward and dive right in. May I now request our session moderator, Dr. Shija Janardhanan, Associate Professor and HOD, Naval Architecture and Ocean Engineering from IMU, to begin the session. Ma'am, over to you.
Honorable Ministers, distinguished panelists on the dais, other distinguished members of the dais, a very good afternoon. It's an honor to be a moderator to this esteemed session and to be a part of this great event. So I now draw the attention of all the speakers onto what I'm going to say. We have 8 speakers. Each speaker is given 5 minutes, and we have 40 minutes And in this 40 minutes, we have to cover all the 8 speakers. And I will keep a track of your time, because otherwise we may end up in the sessions going out of our hands. So at the end of 4th minute, I will just give you a reminder, sitting there, slightly a small, a friendly nudge. Please don't get me wrong. This is very much required for the panel discussions to go on in a very smooth way. And I also take this opportunity to say that we should have time for more question and answers. So here, without much delay, we shall begin the session. So we will start with the first speaker. Before going to that, let us think how innovations lead not only merely to economic gains or commercial gains, but also what if they meet a statutory compliance. This is what is being taken care of by our first speaker. May I request Sri Shyam Jagannathan, Director General of Shipping, Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, to present his topic on government policies on fomenting research and ensuring leveraging technology. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar, a very good afternoon. With the permission of the Chair, for today's session on driving innovation and research in maritime sector, Honorable Shri Narayan Rane Sir, Honorable Minister for Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Honorable Shri Shripad Naik Ji, Honorable Minister for State for Port, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, respected Malini Shankar Madam, Co-convener Dr. Venkataramana Ji, my colleague speakers, Commodore Deshmukh, Mr. Carter, Jensen, Louis Garrido Sir, Jeffrey Jayashilan, ladies and gentlemen. It's an immense privilege to be partaking in the Global Maritime India Summit, speaking on driving innovation and research. 5 minutes is too short a time, very daunting to summarize driving innovation and research in maritime sector. However, I'll give it a try. Our nation's rich maritime history, a growth story of a $20 trillion economy. You witnessed the Honorable Prime Minister today leading our nation to an economic powerhouse. Politically, the world's most populous, biggest democracy, most stable democracy, 7,500 kilometers of coastline, present maritime share of 90% by volume and 70% by value of trade, emphasis on increasing port capacity multifold times. The Sagamala project was evident to all of you, increasing the gross registered tonnage, raising the bar in terms of contribution of seafarers to the global pool, global competitiveness in terms of turnaround times and multimodal logistics integration, ensuring a safe and secure zero accident maritime canvas. All of these while keeping decarbonization goals in sight. I'll just deviate to show how innovation makes you a global leader. You must all have heard of Jandan, Aadhaar and mobility, moving away from the maritime sector. $1.5 trillion of digital payment transactions as of December 2022, which in India is higher than the combination in the US, UK, Germany and France. And by 2026, India is expected to account for 70% of global real-time payment. It speaks volumes about the innovation in the financial architecture. You have companies such as M2P and cash-free payments offering payment infrastructure to banks, statutory entities. The criticality of this to the maritime sector is that India as a global powerhouse will grow, and we have to innovate and support research which is technology-led to ensure the growth trajectory of the nation in the global maritime engagement. Times are challenging and unpredictable. We have seen and survived the COVID-19. Global poverty increased for the first time in a generation after post-COVID. You're seeing what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in West Asia. How do we navigate these choppy waters? Where is this journey heading to? Well, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development adopted by the United Nations, this is the goal where we have to navigate to, our objective, and that is to be ensured through global partnership. Now that the global destination is known, we as a collective have to globally navigate. And it has 4 elements: collaboration and cooperation, equity, inclusion, sustainability. And to tie all these 4 elements together, we need to innovate. I'll just come to that very brief slide. It's one slide depiction of how you are looking at a shipping vessel and what kind of percentages. And this slide has been done very intelligently by the International Maritime Organization. I will not spend time on the energy efficiency indicator, the SEEMP or the CII, but each of these is a technical vertical engagement by itself, and these are only on ship. Madam had spoken about the context of ports, just-in-time arrival, turnaround times, security, maritime safety, navigation. All those aren't included on that single slide. As a proof of evidence, today we are publishing in the open domain some little innovation we started in the Director General of Shipping. My Chief Surveyor is here. We started Swachh Sagar portal. Swachh Sagar captures the e-bunkering, compliances to single-use plastics. It also basically ensures waste treatment for ships which are berthing, and all these are electronically captured. And we've done it over a period of time, put it into the open domain. We are publishing the document today, and I'll be requesting my team to share it to whoever would be interested. This is again an interesting slide. It is readily available on the internet. I'll just read out the 10 top trends in the marine industry: artificial intelligence, clean energy, maritime robotics, energy efficient integrations, maritime Internet of Things, blockchain, big data and analytics, immersive reality, 5G, cybersecurity. I could personally spend a week on each of these topics and still there would be less of a time. Now, among startups, one of my eminent colleagues would be speaking here on startups, so I will not go on to the startup ecosystem. But I'll request that we move on to the next slide, please. This is a disaggregated slide. You see, 87% of whatever investment we are going to do is only going to engage with decarbonizing shipping. And it is linked to production and bunkering of alternate fuels. Towards the lower left, you look at the choices of alternate fuels. This itself is a massive area of engagement for shipping. 60% of the goods that are loaded and discharged in developed countries, and developed countries need to fund this. IMO's very interesting, innovative approach towards market-based mechanisms is something which is still a work in progress. You see what Wärtsilä has shown as a fully digital ship. One of my colleagues would be speaking on the massively autonomous surface ships. I haven't forgotten the human element in the top right-hand side, where I've said that no matter what technology you use, it will be the human beings whose comfort, safety, security, and a commercial benefit would be visible.
Sir, this is your 4th minute.
The last slide, please. So I'll keep it simple. They say that we need to innovate, and it is always said simplicity and brevity is true wisdom. So we are appealing to all of us to come together, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, join hands, connect, collaborate, and let's create. Thank you.
It's very interesting to note that India is going to become the next powerhouse. So thank you for your enlightening session or enlightening speech. Of late, autonomous ships are the trend, and they have taken the ship design, production, and operation by storm. Let us know more about it from our second speaker. May I request Commodore Shrikant Deshmukh, Indian Navy, Nausena Medal retired, representative to India Industry Association Marinette, to present his topic on autonomous navigation system. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Minister, sir, dignitaries on the dais, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to you on the autonomous navigation. I'm well aware that 5 minutes time to speak on autonomous navigation is just not enough, but I will just try to paint a picture in the autonomous navigation where we are currently. In Russia, Marinette is the industry association which initiated the autonomous and the remote navigation trial project in 2020. It proved the effectiveness of this autonomous navigation system, and the Russian government thereafter certified the system and approved the use of these technologies for the commercial purposes. Marinette has developed this state-of-the-art ANAV system of the architecture is based on the functional approach, which includes traditional systems like navigation equipment, vessels technical equipment, radio equipment, and other systems also. Kindly note that the ANAV platform, all current crew functions which are being done by the manpower will go into the autonomous mode while remaining compliant with the applicable regulations, thus overcoming the regulatory barriers. The ANAV functions in a closed loop system. Its advanced sensor enables it to offer many advantages to the user, the major ones being effective control of the technical systems, mode switch for the changeover from autonomous to manual and vice versa, good ship maneuvering control, and the better environmental and situational awareness. ANAV system comprises of very versatile modules like autonomous navigation, situational awareness module, remote control station, and the data exchange. The autonomous navigation module enables the users to carry out automatic analysis of the navigation conditions, controlling the vessel along with the assigned tracks, automatic decision making, collecting data from the onboard equipment, synchronization, its validation, and display, then installing and supporting the navigation charts in S57 and S63 formats and their visual display. The situational awareness system acts as the eyes and the ears of the system, as well as the breach advisory with its capabilities for optical surveillance and analysis, autonomous technical monitoring, onboard mode switch for switching on the conditions, as well as coordinated motion control systems. The RCS provides tools for displaying video data on the surface situation, facility for interaction and the radio equipment on board, the vessel communication systems, the joystick system for transmitting vessel and the movement parameters in remote control mode. It also offers the tool for self-diagnosis, adjustment, and control subsystem for the mast. It also offers means for interaction with automated navigation system, optical surveillance, and analytic systems, plus the engine and the technical systems control. The data exchange module facilitates interaction between the systems, elements on board the vessel, and the RCS, including local information network integrating all mass processing complex components and associated systems. As far as the credentials of the ANAV systems are concerned, it has locked more than 70,700 hours in experimental mode, and more than 50,000 modes in the operational mode. It has done more than 71 operational voyages, encompassing 387 hours and more than 5,000 miles.
So your fourth minute.
The ongoing activities cover 4 autonomous and remote control vessels under experimental regulations, equipping 5 vessels for the commercial use, and the negotiation for the 23 systems which are ongoing. We will be very happy to bring this system to India and offer the technological collaboration both on getting the autonomous system in India as well as the training systems, because simulation and training also is equally important for us. We are open for all collaborations as well as technical partnership. Thank you for this opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you for elaborating the process of navigation, automatic navigation systems. So thank you so much for such an enlightening speech. Then, strategies, KPIs, and outcomes are very important for the growth of industries, organizations, and universities to progress. In the next session, we have some topics coming on these lines. And may I request Mr. Christian Valdez Carter, Country Director and Commercial Counselor, Innovation, Norway, India, Royal Norwegian Embassy to present his topic on innovation in the maritime sector, aligning strategy with outcomes. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Namaskar, honorable ministers, fellow speakers at the dais. It's an honor sharing the stage with you guys. I will spend the next couple of minutes to speak about the Norwegian perspective and why Norway is such an innovative country, and in particular in the maritime sector. And before I can do that, I will have to share a bit about where we're coming from. So we are a very export-oriented country. It means that most of our companies, and most of them are actually MSMEs, are exporting and are in the international markets. Since we also have a very open economy, we have a lot of international players coming to Norway, so they are also competing with global players locally. Lastly, we also have a very collaborative mindset. There's a lot of trust across the industry, across the supply chains, across industry, government, academia, and that very much stimulates innovation. At the same time, we are one of the world's largest producers and exporters of hydrocarbons. So we are very, very dependent on oil and gas. Very much the same challenge that India has. The only thing is that we're exporting it and India is importing it, right? So we are exporting around $200 billion of hydrocarbons every year, and that's approximately the same amount that India is spending on imports of crudes and hydrocarbons. But this means that we have to innovate, we have to get new legs to stand on in the future. So we are very much developing zero-emission shipping, and that is very much driven by a public-private partnership. And here you see some pictures from the latest, maybe the most advanced vessels in the world. And guess what? They're building Cochin Shipyard. So India is actually also helping Norway with our transition in the green maritime space. We have also now implemented green hydrogen in the maritime sector. And here you see also the world's first hydrogen ferry that is running on liquid hydrogen, actually. And that was commissioned just a few months ago. It's a bit difficult to handle this thing. We're also now working on very much on green ammonia. Yes, I know. And what you see here is the so-called SHIP FC project, where we are actually now conducting a very groundbreaking project where we are retrofitting an offshore supply vessel by installing a high-powered 2-megawatt ammonia fuel cell. And that is a cooperation between industry, academia, research, and also the so-called clusters. And I'll get back to the clusters in just a minute. We're now having new projects being announced almost every week. Here's just a very quick snapshot of new innovative solutions within bunkering, new ships. We're even now developing ships that are hydrogen fueled, powered by hydrogen in a combustion engine. We have fuel cell systems and battery storage on board, and also bunker network for both green hydrogen, pressurized hydrogen, as well as green ammonia. At the same time, it's very important to say that it's very difficult to leapfrog from where we are today to the future. So there are a lot of innovative solutions that are being now rolled out that are very easy to implement. These are solutions that are already in the market. It's just important to implement them. And here we have some examples like scrubbers and shore power solutions and so on. But I come to my point now, and that is that in Norway, across the country, we have a very extensive so-called cluster mindset. We cluster together, and that is, like I said, because we are very open and we are very collaborative and we have a very open mindset, but also because when you share people, you share infrastructure, you actually share cost with others. So that brings me to the sharing economy concept that we have very much implemented in Norway, that makes us very competitive in the international markets, in addition to, of course, to all the innovation that is taking place. And in particular in the maritime sector, we have very strong so-called clusters, and these are physical clusters. These are port areas where we have MSMEs side to side with the big companies, collaborating, providing them with new solutions, where they have access to testing facilities. And here are the 4 clusters that are funded by Innovation Norway. That is more like a layer that we put over the industrial areas, and we support them with funding, and we facilitate basically more efficient communication across the different stakeholders in the maritime sector.
So it's your 4th minute.
And this is my last slide, in fact, and what a cluster should contain is what we see here on this slide, and that is a mix of entrepreneurs, risk capital, of course, the established, the mature industries and the companies, government and academia and research. If we don't have these players on the same page, basically, we will not move in the same direction and at the same pace. So that is just in very brief how we are, trying to move forward with innovation in Norway, and we are very much succeeding with it. And we are very happy to be collaborating with India in the maritime space, which has become maybe the most important pillar in our bilateral cooperation. So thank you very much for your time, and would be happy to take any questions afterwards. Thank you.
So that's really enlightening to know about the step-by-step marching towards greener solutions. And also, thank you so much for your interest to collaborate with India. Then we have port-led initiatives connecting technology to coastal communities through port, ships, and inland connections and corridors. And we have with us Mr. Maurice Janssen, Port Ecosystems Expert, Erasmus Center for Urban, Port and Transport Economics, Rotterdam, to present his topic, Connecting Technology to Talent, Connecting Cross-Border Maritime Ecosystems. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to speak in front of all of you, especially the honorable ministers and the Vice Chancellor of the Indian Maritime University and her staff, and also the seafarers that I've been seeing in the back standing, because this is about talent. This is about maritime talent. Let me see if I can also use the clicker. Yeah, it works. So let's get to the point. The case I'd like to present to you is Rotterdam, and it actually builds on the presentation of my previous speaker. the Norwegian cluster. And I'm going to take you through how we look at maritime cluster development, or what we now call also the business innovation ecosystem. And what you see here is a map that I created for the municipality of Rotterdam when I spoke with them about talent development, setting a talent agenda, attracting talent, because you need talent to work on technology. And you see the black line is the established universities, the Erasmus University, Delft University of Technology, Ship and Transport College. These are the main pillars. But over the last 20 years, this landscape has also expanded, especially when you look at the blue line, the innovation campus, and the red line, the startup ecosystem. And that is because business and governments and education, academia are working much more closely together on technology development. In this cluster we have some 11,000 students, maybe some 800 teachers, of course numerous startups, 40 master degrees, 8 bachelor's degrees, so this is a vast network. And indeed, you need a collective action agenda with governments and business. This is a picture we created, also part of a workshop we had with the municipality. What if you don't align government actions and business actions? Well, there is 4 different scenarios. If, for example, business is pulling hard, but the government is doing nothing, then you might risk that companies leave the country, search for better grounds. And of course, the most favorable scenario is the top right one, where obviously there is a collaborative approach to nurturing talent, which means investing in education, university campuses, field labs, and of course funding technology development at the SMEs, the startups. So we conducted various studies with the Port Authority, with the municipality of Rotterdam. So this is from my personal experience. We developed a couple of reports on what type of talent should you attract. There's also a regional maritime agenda, which is the right one, connecting also the provincial government and also the state government. But it's very much a maritime agenda that is shared by across the industry. And there is also a human capital challenge included and embedded within that agenda. So what we did in the beginning of the year, well, you can talk about talent development, you can talk about talent, attracting talent, but if you don't know what they are seeking, what do you know about them, right? So that's why we said to the government, we are going to do a talent survey together with the maritime boards, the young maritime boards. They are also connected in social networks. We ask them what they think it's important. And we need to know what is driving this maritime talent. It's personal development, it's a career perspective, not just going to sea, but also what lies ahead, when they come off the ship. Is there a career path for them ashore? Innovation, sustainability, but also conservatism and a lack of diversity. It's still very much a man's world, at least in the Netherlands and most of the Western societies, which is holding people back. It's holding women also back to step into the industry. But talent is highly needed, so you need to know what is the story that you're going to tell to these people. But once they go into the sector, we also know they are very loyal. They like the team spirit, and also they enjoy the close-knit network. Also very much what my previous speaker from Norway is mentioning. It's everybody knows each other, and that's very important to stick into the industry. So that's good to know. Then we move to, but how does these people work? How does this innovation work? And actually, we believe it's like a DevOps cycle, where you have the technological engineers working on the left side, and you have the operations, of course, the running business on the right side, driving the business forward, doing the actual job. But the left side is actually bringing in the new technology. And of course, you need to have the right engineers around the table, multiple disciplines, not just the marine engineer. Nowadays also the battery engineer, the robotics, the complex systems engineer, the materials technicians. These people, they have to work together on this technology. So it's very much multidisciplinary, but it also means you need to have the right team spirit. You have to have communication capabilities. And sometimes engineers, and I've been working with engineers for quite some time at the Maritime College, they like to do the work, they like the technicians, they don't really like the communication around it. So that's a soft skill set that is increasingly important. So, and we also looked into that, so we looked at job vacancies, hundreds of outstanding vacancies, and we created these word clouds, trying to find out what is the companies, these technology companies, what are they looking for? And then you see a whole cloud of words that are not necessarily technical. It's very much communication and also leadership, and of course also numerical skills and digital skills. But it's really a mix of soft skills and hard skills.
So,
and on the right
fourth
side,
minute.
1 minute?
You have exceeded fourth minute.
I'll go to my next slide then. So if you then map that out, and we created these kind of life cycle maps for how does this technology link to actually the ship design, the ship operations, or the maintenance of the ship, or even the dismantling of the ship. We made some cross layers with the actual ship technology and where the engineering capabilities come in. Exactly as I said, multiple types of disciplines. And we also created this for the digital transition. And we believe it's really, kind of an industry initiative, also a governance mechanism that you have to bring in. And what we're now trying to do is also we try to link your talent development, your technology developers. We bring them to Rotterdam. This is for the GMU that we had over last April. It's an externship program of 35 people. This is at the municipality office. We take them around into the port. And lastly, we also come over here. So this is last August. We were invited also in Chennai. We had a great international seminar for, I think, 200 people in the room and many more across the country on the different campuses. And this is what we want to continue with. We want to really bring this technology and talent development. We want to work on this together. So if you're looking for me, I will be at the Dutch Pavilion, which is an exhibition hall A. We can talk about it. Of course, we continue the conversation with IMU and hope to be back in India next time. Thank you very much.
That was very interesting to know about setting up a maritime innovation ecosystem and collective action by governments and initiatives and opportunities for young people and your association with Indian Maritime University. Wireless connectivity has given us endless convenience, but at the same time, they come back to us with a threat called cybersecurity. So to know more about this, we have a fifth speaker. May I request Mr. Luis Garrido, CEO, MSM Offshore, Spain, to present his topic on wireless technology in aids to navigation. Over to you, sir.
Hello, everybody, ministers, colleagues, speakers. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of that project. Okay. Well, this is me. This is my company, MSM, is an industrial member of Ayala with more than 17 years in the market. This is me. Well, in the future, communication will play a central role in modernization to aid to navigation. Real-time connectivity, wireless technology, and virtual solution will change the rule. This is a new revolution in safety and efficiency of the world sea. We live in a technological and digital world, and for this reason, ATON must continue to evolve from the precision of GPS, electronic nautical charts, optimization of consumption, new recyclable materials. Technology has driven significant change in the way we explore the navigate oceans. The communication is essential in navigation, and the atoms are a very important part of this. In maritime environment, we can find visual, acoustic, electronic communication. This is how I2 navigation communicate to ensure the safe flow and information between ships and maritime authorities. Globalization and atoms are closely linked, enable to safe transfer of goods and people around the world. This is couldn't have been possible without the work of Ayala in bringing together criteria at global level. It's not easy to get everyone to agree. Well done, Ayala. In a modern world, virtual and wireless atoms represent a fundamental transformation in the maritime industry. The combination of virtual technology and wireless communication is redefining the way we navigate. Real-time information providing a perfect tool of decision-making, ensuring safe and more efficient navigation. Wireless technology has revolutionized the atoms, allowing the transmission of critical data between atoms, ships, and port authorities without any type of cables. This was unthinkable a few years ago, but the reality is that there is still more technology to be discovered. LoRa, LTE, IIoT, Internet of Things, and we will continue to work to create an ever more connected maritime future. Satellite communication provides a global coverage and access to a crucial navigation data. This data can be coordinated, monitoring, tracking, weather forecasts. In short, satellite communication is essential where other technologies lack coverage, making a most effective isolate environmental on open sea. And the radio is a communication to eight navigations, a significant advantage like ability to transmit a high bandwidth and high frequencies in a wide bandwidth without cost. This is the most important, no cost in the radio. And it's good because it can be reach all the type of vessels. 5G. The deployment of 5G connection technology transforming the way that we communicate. Now, we can send and receive a higher quantity of data with a faster and more stable connectivity. This enables real-time data transmission, improving decision-making and elevating safe navigation to a new level. IIS is essential technology of modern navigation. Allow ship, atom, and port to share weather information, prevent collision, and monitoring atoms, even in worse weather conditions. In short, improve the safety and two-way communication at sea. Virtual atoms such as augmented reality and electronic charts provide a detailed and accurate information about the maritime environment. Virtual solutions are changing the way we navigate, and virtual representation of atoms in real time. This is already possible today. It's really useful in extreme weather conditions, such as monsoon here in India. Well, now it's a short video of MSM. Can put a balloon, please?
So we have half a minute more.
From each of its members. The strength of each one is the team.
Half a minute more.
Never stop, never settle, until the good becomes the best, and the best becomes excellent. The 360 system is born. Innovation and efficiency. The wireless age. An ocean of possibilities. We keep on opening new paths at sea. MSM.
And to finish, we are the future, and the future is now. Thank you. And I comply the 5 minutes exactly. Yeah?
Thank you for giving us so much information about 5G connectivity and so much about the wireless connectivity. Now we have our sixth speaker ready to discuss the digital transformations, the cutting-edge technologies that's driving innovation and IT-enabled solutions for ports to become smart ports, considering health, society, environment, and security. So may I request Mr. Jeffrey Jaishilan, Director, Chrysler Technologies Private Limited, and IT Advisor, Port of the company, Oman, to represent his topic, Innovations through IT Solutions in Port Operations. Over to you, sir. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, Honorable Ministers, Convener, Co-Convener, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me thank the organizers for giving me the privilege of speaking about the sea of possibilities that innovative digital solutions bring to the maritime industry and specifically to port operations. We are in the midst of a maritime revolution where the winds of change are powered by bits and bytes, from paper to pixels. This is not just a talk about technology, but to experience the pulse of transformation. Let's imagine our ports not as mere logistic gateways, but as smart and adaptive entities powered by digital solutions, scripting a new chapter in the maritime story. Let's explore the intersection between tradition and technology, where ancient ports meet cutting-edge IT solutions, embarking on a journey into the future, a future that is shaped by transformation of digital solutions in port operations. In the technological evolution of ports, the key distinguisher is the level of application of technology and automation. Ports are categorized into Port 1.0, which is a paper-based port, Port 2.0, which are physically connected ports, Port 3.0, which are smart ports, and we have moved on to the higher degree of automation and connected within, which is the Port 3.0. But digital innovations have propelled the industry movement to 4.0, which emphasize the integration of digital technologies, automation, data exchange to create smart and interconnected industrial systems. The equivalent of Industrial 4.0 in the port industry is Port 4.0. In Port 4.0, there is a paradigm shift in the way ports operate. It creates a port which is intelligent, interconnected, automated, data-driven port ecosystem that is agile, efficient, and sustainable. Innovations are the lifeblood of progress of any industry, and maritime is no exception to it. Embracing innovation in port operation is crucial to address challenges, improving efficiency, ensuring safety, contributing to the sustainable and connected global maritime network, leading to reduced operation cost. Port 4.0 is all about innovative solutions displayed on the screen for you. The center part is showing the vision, which is Port 4.0.
So this is your 4th minute.
Along with all the collaboration, there is a collaborative ecosystem that encourages collaboration among various stakeholders, which are port authorities, shipping companies, logistic providers, statutory bodies, and all working together in a seamlessly connected environment. The digital innovations are the enablers to transform the port ecosystem. This in the transformation shall empower the people, reshape the business processes, and propel progress in this key sector. Most ports would be categorized in the range of port 1.0 or 2.0. Some ports in the range of port 3.0, while a few like Singapore, Rotterdam are engaged in progressing to port 4.0. The key success factor in upgrading to a higher version lies in changing the mindset of all stakeholders. Other factors involved are investments, technological challenges, upskilling, centralized policy definition, infrastructure limitations, and market dynamics that will affect the upgrade. For a successful upgrade, it is essential to have effective leadership, stakeholder engagement, and commitment to innovation. Each upgrade is expensive and time-consuming. Therefore, let us take this opportunity to leapfrog from port 2.0 to port 4.0 directly, launching a centralized national port and logistics platform that will ensure uniform digital transformation across all ports. This will provide standardized business process automation, integration of data across the port community, data-driven decision-making, and the promise of higher investments. Having it on a single platform makes it scalable, flexible, collaborative, which results in operational efficiency, cost reduction, enhanced security and safety, supply chain optimization, and transformation to green ports.
So the time is up.
The vision of port 4.0, depending upon the business process and regulatory compliances, we can have it on a single platform where individual components vary within the technology. The real voyage of discovery consists in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. In the ports, our eyes be the lens of innovation, powered by digital solutions. Let's embark on a collective commitment to transform our ports into agile, smart, and
So the time
sustainable
is
hubs
up.
of global trade. Thank you.
So thank you for aligning Industry 4.0 to Port 4.0 and telling us all the leapfrogs that's required to acquire it. Then we have our next speaker coming up. We have our seventh speaker who is going to give us something very important, that is how oceans are immense energy potential resources. So how to extract energy, harness energy from waves, tides, and streams will be covered by him in his lecture now. So may I request Dr. Captain D.C. Shekhar, founder Alphamers, to present his topic on ocean energy and unutilized bounty of nature. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable ministers, dignitaries on the stage, and the wonderful audience. I have a brief talk about ocean energy and its potential to give us some renewable energy. But before I go on to that, I would like to show you a 1-minute video to set the context of where we come from. Please. Thank you. Back to the subject of the day, that's wave energy. Now, wave energy converters typically pump fluids, most of them. A few of them will rotate a shaft. So we made one that rotated a shaft, very versatile design for various depths, tidal ranges, etc., but not good enough. we still have a seabed unit, surface unit, and we have to carry the seabed unit, take a floating crane and put it inside, find a flat seabed. So we went ahead and designed a floating version of the same technology. Once you have a floating plant, the operations and the OpEx, lot of it comes under better control. Then we did something more. We designed a wave-powered boat, a small remote-controlled, slow-speed boat with an extraordinary cruising range. It has its applications. Now that's about our past. Now I'd like to move over to the resource availability and the possibilities in wave energy. Now Dahej, I think many of you would know that place has got spring tides of more than 10 meters, strong tidal streams. Normally the problem with tidal energy is that it's interrupted availability of power. If you are able to trap and store the rise of tide, you are able to smoothen the output curve. In my opinion, an end-of-life VLCC suitably modified, placed in such a region, can help to do exactly that. Some other possibilities worth exploring is tidal barges with tidal turbines, like bunker barges. They come alongside the vessel and supply power from the tidal turbines. Possible. An extension of that, if you have, it's a design chain, takes more time. If you are able to decouple the engine from the propeller and use the propeller itself as a tidal turbine, there are a lot of possibilities there. And the same holds good for all the vessels in inland waterways, in rivers, in moving streams of water. I know I don't have much time. I'll just go over to a couple of lessons that we have learned and like to share with you. When it comes to ocean energy, learn to adapt as per the availability. Don't look at the gift horse in the mouth and complain. Learn to adapt for that. It's good if you're able to feed a grid. Keep an eagle eye on the cost, the capex. I know many good technical solutions which had runaway capex and they failed. What has been done so far, the trend that we see around the world is not necessarily the best. Some of them are, not all of them. You have to think on your own feet. If somebody is making bigger and bigger turbine, doesn't mean we have to go down that road. Perhaps a farm of smaller turbines is better. Perhaps having the generator instead of the nacelle to put it on the sea level with hydraulic transmissions is better.
Your 4th minute, sir.
There are a lot of such possibilities. And we have to think on our feet each time. I have noticed that any projections for tomorrow, today, including by the Honorable DG Shipping about the energy possibilities, none of them have seriously looked at ocean energy yet. I think we will come out with a good scalable technology and earn a place there. I'll take a 30 seconds just to tell you about the wave-powered boat. Broadly, how it works is when the human body is on a roller coaster going up and down, your stomach has a phase lag. It's following that body. So this is broadly like the body and the stomach is like the outer and the inner hull. The space between them changes. We use that to create the energy in the boat. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
So that was quite interesting to know that ships can operate with energy, wave energy converters on board, and you are working on a scalable design. Thank you. And may we now proceed towards the last speaker. So we now move from the application of innovation to industry to universities or the education system. And our last speaker is going to give us some focus and enlightenment on the same. So may I request Captain Nikunj Parashar, founder and CEO, Sagar Defense Engineering, to present his topic, Building Startup Ambience in Maritime Institutes. Over to you.
A very good afternoon. With the permission of the Chair, Honorable Minister Shri Narayanji, respected ma'am. It's a very complicated topic which ma'am gave across to me, and especially on the institutes where the innovation has to go in. And she's really put me in a very complicated situation. And while I was trying to think what I'm going to speak about, this is where a few lines came across to me, and it says that Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guru Nama. How many of you have noticed this tree right in the middle of the conference room? I don't want you to raise your hands also. I know many of you would have not noticed. This is the exact scenario what happens a lot in the maritime community. Do we go back to our maritime colleges? But if you see the chain from a cadet to all the way becoming an officer of the watch, or even for a crew from an ordinary seaman all the way becoming a bosun, we go through a proper schooling system. But why don't we go back to our colleges? Why don't we meet our teachers, our professors? And this is something which really caught my mind. And this is exactly like this tree. It's giving us shade. Imagine the value of this tree is so much that we have not removed this from this auditorium. So our colleges are not out, from our system. They're still there. Actually, they've become more important. Indian maritime universities have come up. The way the MOUs have been signed, it's exemplary where we are moving across. So what is that which is keeping away? I think the most important part, what we need to is innovate. We need to redefine the term sailors and seafarers. It's very important for all of us to understand what does seafarer stand. Is it for going back and earning those $12,000, $14,000 or LNG ships close to $20,000? Or going and giving back, starting up our own startup system? Now this thought, and I want this thought, people should have it in their own. And we did a small case with Tulani Maritime Institute. And the moment when the boys and the cadets enter our factory on the shop floor, the word comes out is, wow. Now, imagine these young lads coming in onto your shop floors and looking at autonomous vessels. I've seen great presentations out there. And as a country, and I proudly say I am one of them who is trying to work on these lines, there could be many more brilliant lines who would try to do that. How would this happen? Again, a question to everyone sitting down, even the cadets sitting out there. This is something, and there's been a lot of deliberations on this. The Ministry of Shipping has really looked at it in depth. We need to integrate the whole innovation system. Our maritime colleges should not only look at, and let me be very straightforward here, making money out of it, but also should become an innovation hub. It just should not stick at IMU. The reason is, almost 7 years back when the first Maritime India Summit happened, ma'am, there were 2 awards in Maritime India Summit, and the awards were 15 lakh rupees. The award winner was Nikuj Parashar, and I was given 15 lakh rupees, and with that 15 lakh rupees, I started Sagar Defense Engineering. While I'm standing here, we just bagged a contract above 500 crores. How is it possible? I'm like, with all the seniors here, and a lot of my seniors are sitting in the field. So this integration in the curriculum is very important. I was very lucky enough to sail with people who really had brilliant mind. And this is something we all need to feel proud, because a lot of mariners have worked with me. This is country's first autonomous vessel.
It's your 4th minute.
So 13 minutes, we control it from more than 800 kilometers, satellite, Wi-Fi, LAN, you talk anything, autonomous systems, completely built out of Maharashtra, Pune, and of course Mumbai itself. This is what Japan has a goal. I think by then, we should look at having 100% vessels sailing out of our country being autonomous. And seafarers should have a new goal, a new name, and a new definition. With that, I would like to thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us the tips to integrate new technology with curriculum that it's going to completely redefine the seafarers of the future. Thank you so much. With this, we complete all our 8 speakers. I immensely thank you for your patience, for not minding my nudges, keeping on time. And I know that if allowed to speak at length, you wouldn't be delivering just lectures, you would be delivering books with your immense knowledge in the field. Thank you so much for keeping time. Now the forum is open for discussions. Maybe take some questions from the audience, and we have 7 minutes for this. You'll get the next opportunity. Sir, you have a problem with your mic? Please look into it. Please use this. This works. It's okay. We must be sorry.
Thank you so much. So, good afternoon. I'm Milan Manoj. I'm from IMU, Kochi campus. So, starting off, I have a question, and this is regarding the sustainable energy development. And this is something we are very aware of, that, the western coast of India has a lot of undercurrents. And the thing is, I feel that this undercurrent can be used to generate a lot of power in and around the western coast of India. So why don't we look into that as an immediate step and rather take other routes around it?
There are low-hanging fruits and lower-hanging fruits. So right now, Gujarat is the immediate opportunity. It's a cost-benefit analysis. How much is the capex for that, and what kind of energy you can harness out of it? How steady it comes. So I think it will be lower in the priority, but wherever you have currents, littoral currents, it's possible tidal turbines are possible.
Yeah, I have a question for Mr. Captain Nikunj. You have brought out that autonomous shipping as a war vessel. What is the plans for bringing autonomy technology into cargo and passenger movement?
Anybody who's a specialist in autonomous shipping can take the question. So.
So as you'd be aware that Europe is doing a lot of tests across. Now when we look at the Indian region across, the first takers are the government. And look at the regulation. April 22, when actually the first convention committee have been found by the MSc LEG and FAR. So what we see across is by 2035, especially from India, because we need to set up a test bench and a test setup actually in the country to have autonomous shipping testing in the first place. So that has to happen. By then, what we'll see is a lot of government agencies would be having these vessels, and a lot of operating data sets is going to come across. The biggest challenge when I look at a college doing a lot of innovation, where is the data sets available? Who is going to give them the data sets across? Is it going to come from the European counterparts, or is it going to from the IOR region where we are traversing in? Because our scenario is completely different. The weather conditions, everything is completely different what we see in the West. So these data sets have to come across. So a lot of intergovernment tie-ups are very important in that scenario, and a broad-based framework should come in this line. I would say this is the Wright brothers' time, and this is the time where India can actually lead far ahead in leaps and bounds in this scenario. So I look at another decade from today where we are looking at the first vessel in cargo to come across on a sovereign Indian technology across.
Yeah, I have a small announcement to make. We'll take 1 or 2 more questions because we have to wind up the session because of some tight constraints on time. Please bear with us. Anybody else would like to have more questions can interact with the speakers anytime through emails or maybe over coffee or some other discussions. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sunita from Bhandarkar Publications. My question is to the Director General of Shipping, Shri Shyam Jagannathan sir. Sir, I would like to know how can the maritime industry balance the need for innovation with the demands of safety and security? Can you just elaborate a bit on that?
Ma'am, it goes without saying that safety always comes first. So wherever we are innovating, whenever we are testing them out, there are test cases before there's a standardized protocol that is put into place, either for commercial use or for deployed technology on a vessel. So the basic idea that I'm trying to tell you is, SOLAS dictates what goes on board as an international convention, and safety is basically the primary confirmation or compliance that any code or any innovation would have to meet before it is basically deployed commercially. I hope I can answer that. It's very generic.
So may we have the last question for the session, please? I think that hand went up. We should give him the first opportunity. Gentleman at the back.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Piyush Bandari from Mohan Mutha Group. We are the star exporter shipping company, Translogistic. Now we have ventured in the desalination plant and also in the digitalization. Sir, Mr. Jeffrey, only one small question to you regarding, as you told, you are using the IoT systems and very well explained how you have managed the common command control system, because this type of the system we are also thinking to make it in India.
To be honest, it will take a long time to explain the concept there, but it depends on the product and the area in which it is being used. I'm not an expert on IoT systems or control center, so I would like to excuse that portion of the answer.
No problem.
Honestly speaking, we are using the IoT devices for using sensors to read the data, analyze the data, and make a data-driven decision making. That is the objective of that using IoTs. But the IoT implementation would be left to the individual product owners or the areas in which they are delivering the product. Thank you.
Maybe you can interact personally to know more about it. It's an elaborate topic, I understand. Thank you. We'll close the session. Thank you, distinguished speakers, once again. Thank you, eminent participants or the audience. Thank you so much, and I thank the organizers and Indian Maritime University for giving me this opportunity. Now over to Mr. Hardik, who is the MC of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shija, for moderating the session so effortlessly and seamlessly. And to our wonderful speakers, thank you very much for your time and knowledge sharing. Let's move forward. As a token of our appreciation to all our esteemed dignitaries, may I humbly request Dr. Malini Shankar, Vice Chancellor IMU, to please present the mementos. And the first up, please join me in welcoming the Director General of Shipping, Shri Shyam Jagannathan ji. Thank you, sir, very much for your time and the knowledge sharing this afternoon. Next up, Commodore Shrikant Deshmukh, Indian Navy Nausea Medal retired, representative to India, Industry Association Marinette. Thank you, sir, for those valuable words you shared with us. Next up, Mr. Christian Valdez Carter, Country Director and Commercial Councillor Innovation, Norway, India, Royal Norwegian Embassy. Okay. Next up, Mr. Maurice Jonsson, Port Ecosystems Expert, Erasmus Center for Urban, Port and Transport Economics. Thank you once again, sir, for being with us here this afternoon. And thank you, Dr. Malini, for giving away these mementos. I'd like to invite Dr. Venkat Raman Akkaraju, Chairman, New Mangalore Port Authority, to present the mementos. First up, Mr. Luis Garrido, CEO, MSM Offshore. All right, moving forward, Mr. Jeffrey Jesilan, Director, Crucible Technologies Private Limited and IT Advisor, Port of Duqm Company, Oman. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing knowledge with us this afternoon once again. Captain D.C. Sekhar, Founder, Alpha Maris. We are very grateful, sir. And Captain Nikunj Parashar, Founder and CEO, Sagar Defense Engineering. Thank you very much for those inspiring words, Captain Parashar. And thank you, Dr. Karaju. I will request you to please give away the concluding remarks and the vote of thanks, sir. Given the paucity of time, we will be rushing through. Thank you very much, sir. Please join me in giving the vote of thanks and the concluding remarks.
Saying everything what others see, but thinking differently what others no one can think. Research and innovation makes the difference between leader and follower. Training to research, research to innovation. India wants to become $5 trillion economy by 2025, $40 trillion economy at least by Amritkal. Udyamam sahasam dhairyam buddhi sekti parakramaha shajyatertha vardanti tatra daiva sahayakrut. These are the great traits, the qualities required, noble qualities required for a good leader. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, is having these noble qualities, not only in maritime sector, in all parts of life, all walks of life, all fields of life. He wants out-of-box thinking, he wants research, he wants innovation. Because innovation is the only way by which you can make things affordable for the people so that 130 crores plus of Indian population can be brought above the poverty level. Now, today we had a lively session. Shri Malini, Madam, Vice Chancellor, Indian Maritime University, has really carefully drafted and crafted the session inch to inch. Really a very interesting session. After Madam has become the Vice Chancellor of Indian Maritime University, the credibility of the organization has improved. Madam, you must have read the novel Great Expectations in English. We have great expectations from you. As Prime Minister has said today, port for prosperity, port for productivity. This is possible only when IMU starts getting into higher end of the education, maritime education. We want more master courses in nautical sciences. We want more master courses in engineering, marine engineering. We want a bigger place for research and development, particularly in IMU. Port sector needs reduced dredging cost. Port sector wants automated piloting. Port sector wants autonomous indigenous cargo handling equipment. Madam, this is possible only, you only can do this wonder. So there are great expectations from you. Now, Sri Shyam Jagannathan, really you have very crisply, simply has placed the various policies and roadmap of the government of future. It is as good as a national highway made by Nitin Gadkari Saab, as smooth and as clear. Your policy is very clear, sir. I am very sure with a clear policy, the research and development in both private and public sectors, particularly in maritime sector, will take a further boost. Not only training, not only supplying cadets. Generally, when you talk about maritime sector, when you talk about DG shipping, we thought about training courses. We think about lower end courses where we are able to supply the sea cadets, engineers. No, it's not that. We need higher end. Now this is the high time for us to move to the higher end of maritime education. We need innovation. Sri Deshmukh has very nicely placed the importance of autonomous vehicles. Really, I appreciate, sir. We need autonomous dredgers. We need autonomous mooring launches. We need autonomous pilot launches. We need pilotless navigation. Forget about pilot launches. That is what the port sector demands. Port sector, the highest cost is dredging cost. Next followed cost is pilotage cost. These two things had to be reduced so that India becomes more competitive in the international market. Followed by Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter talked about carbon-free shipping, green shipping. Very good. That's what we are also want. And all the ports now are moving from major ports to smart ports, and smart ports, green shipping is a part. Coming back to, after Mr. Carter, I think Mr. Morris, he spoke about it. And he was talking about technology and also skilling. And he was also talking about autonomous vehicles to a certain extent. And his more focus was on how to bring the talent and technology together. It's also very useful and very good. And Mr. Lewis, he very nicely and crisply has placed the latest trends, and particularly how to merge the technology and skills together so that the border maritime ecosystem can be improved. It was really useful to us. Then comes Mr. Shekhar, who spoke about the various technologies and various trends in the maritime sector, particularly the wave energy, the waves, and all these things. It's also quite useful to us. And of course, Mr. Sagar, Mr. Parashar from Sagar Engineering, he also spoke about how to harness particularly the role and importance of startups in maritime institutions. It's really very interesting, unless to take, when the research moves to innovation, for the innovation to take the shape of materialistic shape, you need an ecosystem, you need startups at institutional level. And maritime institutions, private and public, particularly institutions, universities like Indian Maritime Universities, you need the ecosystem of startups. It's very, very required. And overall, the session was really interesting. I'm very sure when we go back from the session, we go with the seeds of requirement of research and innovation. Madam, the great expectations, I repeat, it's only the IMU that can take the torch forward. No one else, because private institutions are there, they have their own limitations and they have their own goals and objectives, whereas IMU, it's a very transparent university with a lot of government funding, and if you demand, you get more funding. India requires to move forward. And with this, I thank everyone. Particularly, I acknowledge the presence of Dr. Sanjeev Ranjan sir, who was our former secretary. Sir, your presence has brought glory to the session. And DA Ports, Mr. Ashwath is also here, and many other great personalities are here. Finally, I thank the people who have done the backstage work, particularly the knowledge partners and people from FICCI who have coordinated, the officials from the ministry who have really acted as a catalyst, and my friends from e-media. Thank you very much. And at the end, I would like to say one thing. Paropakaram phalanti vukshaha, paropakaram phalanti vukshaha, paropakaram nahanti viranjaha, paropakaram gahanti gavaha, paropakaram idam anveshanam. The meaning of this is, the tree gives fruits, not for itself, for others. The river flows not for itself, but for quenching the thirst of others. The cow gives milk, not for itself, for others. Similarly, the research should be not for personal agenda, not for getting a MPhil or a PhD. It should be for the mankind. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Behind, both from FICCI and from IMU, which put this together, and the moderator. A big thanks to each, and thank you all for coming.
Now that is truly a befitting concluding remark and the vote of thanks. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, to all the delegates, to all our panelists, speakers, and our honorable ministers who joined us this afternoon. It's been a real pleasure. This is the end of the session. I'm your host, ladies and gentlemen, Hardik Vaidya. Have a wonderful evening ahead.